You can slap on the best tires, install high-end brakes, and make your ride look like it's straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster, but without a solid engine, you're not going anywhere. The engine is the heart of the car, and just like with any heart, if it's unreliable, you're going to have a rough time. So today, we're going to dive into the real MVPs of reliability, engines that just keep going and going and going. Let's talk about 10 car brands that have built a reputation for having some of the most reliable engines out there. The M54 engine. Produced between 2000 and 2006, the M54's most famous gig was powering icons like the E46 330i and the E39 530i. Now, this bad boy hits a sweet spot between performance and longevity, wearing high mileage like a badge of honor. Let me tell you, not every engine can make that claim. Here's what makes the M54 a legend. It's got BMW's double Vanos system. All it means is that it adjusts the valve timing on both intake and exhaust camshafts, so you get power exactly when you need it without chugging down gas like my uncle at a tailgate. Smooth power delivery, solid fuel efficiency, and enough grunt to give you 225 horsepower and 290 Nm of torque. That's what we're talking about. It's got an aluminum block with cast iron cylinder liners, which keeps it lightweight but tough as nails. Next up, Toyota's 1UZ engine, the granddaddy of reliability. Picture this, it's the early 90s and Toyota decides to go toe-to-toe with the Germans, and boy did they deliver. The 1UZ, a 4-liter V8, was first packed into the Lexus LS400, a car that was smoother than a buttered biscuit sliding down a hot skillet. This engine had an aluminum block, dual overhead cams, and a forged steel crankshaft, making it both lightweight and tough as nails. Toyota really overbuilt this thing. The reinforced block, 8 crankshaft counterweights, and non-interference design, meaning that if your timing belt snaps, you're not stuck with an engine that just ate itself. And if you're wondering about the why it lasts forever part, well, that comes to its rock-solid engineering and the fact that it was built for luxury but tough enough to be dropped in sports cars, like the SC400, with some serious power that evolved over time. Oh, and let's not forget that VVTi system. That thing took the horsepower from pretty good to heck yeah. The Mercedes-Benz OM617. You want reliability? Well, this thing redefines it. Found in classics like the W123-300D, it's a kind of engine that laughs in the face of time, boasting over 800,000 kilometers and still chugging along. Think of it as the tortoise that not only wins the race, but never even breaks a sweat. Cast iron block and head? Check. A simple indirect injection system? Check. We're talking durability and ease of maintenance here, unlike the fussy modern direct injections. And while it's not a speed demon at 88 horsepower, the OM617 is built for the long haul, perfect for cruising down the highway without a worry in sight. And the kicker? This legend can run on pretty much anything. Diesel, biodiesel, even veggie oil if you're feeling adventurous. It's a Swiss Army knife of engines. It's versatile and indestructible. No wonder you see these things rolling decades later. So if you're talking engines that just won't quit, the OM617 isn't just reliable, it's practically immortal. The Mercedes-Benz M104 engine, specifically the M104 9N2 variant. Picture this, you're behind the wheel of a car that's as smooth as butter and as tough as nails. That's what the M104 delivers. And here's why it stands as a pillar in the Mercedes lineup. It's got an iron block. Now, why is that a big deal? Iron blocks are practically indestructible. They shrug off wear and tear like nothing, and that's what makes the engine last. Pair that with an aluminum head, and you've got a combination of strength and agility. The iron keeps it rugged, while the aluminum keeps things light where it counts. It's like having a heavyweight boxer with the agility of a sprinter. Then there's the dual overhead cams and 4 valves per cylinder, ahead of its time in the early 90s. This setup means that the engine breathes better, giving you more power and efficiency. That's right, even back in the day, the engine was setting the standard for how to get the best out of every drop of fuel. It's no wonder you still see these engines racking up 500,000 kilometers and running like they're fresh off the lot. The power delivery? Silky smooth. Every time you press that pedal, the M104 transforms your drive into pure pleasure. It's not just about getting from point A to point B, it's about enjoying every second of it. The robust design and engineering excellence makes this engine a testament to longevity. It doesn't just run, it thrives, year after year, mile after mile. The BMW M57 engine is an absolute legend. Now, this isn't any engine, though. It's BMW's diesel technology at its finest. You'll find it in models like the E90 330D and the E65 530D, and it's all about combining durability with serious performance. The M57 makes you wonder if you even need a gasoline engine anymore. It packs a variable geometry turbocharger that delivers phenomenal low-end torque without compromising on high-end power. Imagine cruising at low speeds and still feeling that powerful pull. That's the magic of this turbo. Plus, the engine block is made of graphite iron, which means it's built like a tank, handling heat and stress without breaking a sweat. This thing is basically indestructible. And let's not forget longevity. With proper maintenance, the M57 can easily go beyond 300,000 kilometers while still giving you that smooth signature BMW driving experience. It's reliable, powerful, and has a kind of endurance that most engines can only dream of. The Mercedes-Benz M113 engine, a V8 that's basically the Chuck Norris of sports car engines. Found in the E500 and S500, this powerhouse has been defying time and expectations. We're talking about an engine that thinks high mileage is just a warm-up lap. Now, Mercedes is known for its extraordinary powertrains, but the M113, it's in a league of its own. It's got that all-aluminum construction that keeps it light, while the 3-valve per cylinder head makes sure that you're getting the right mix of power and efficiency. Like a perfect burger, it's juicy, it's satisfying, and not too overdone. This bad boy cranks out 302 horsepower and 460 Nm of torque, which means that you can get the V8 grunt without worrying about the engine calling it quits too soon. What's more is that this engine has a reputation for being rock-solid reliable, the kind that tuners love to push even further with forced induction. So yeah, if you're looking for a sports car engine that'll last you through the ages and then some, the M113 is your guy. All right, y'all, buckle up because today we're going to be diving into the Mercedes-Benz OM648, a diesel engine that's basically the Energizer Bunny of engines. This powerhouse is what you get when you combine German engineering with unbreakable reliability. Powering the E320 CDI, the OM648 doesn't just perform, it outlasts practically everything on the road. We're talking engines that go past the 500,000 kilometer mark without even breaking a sweat. That's 500,000 kilometers, people. Like driving around the world 12 times and still not needing a tune-up. So what makes this diesel engine so bulletproof? It's all about the Common Rail Direct Injection System. Yeah, that might sound like some fancy tech mumbo-jumbo, but here's the deal. It allows super precise fuel delivery. More precision means better fuel economy, lower emissions, and zero sacrifice when it comes to power. It's that kind of efficiency that makes you want to high-five a German engineer. And let's not forget about the numbers that make this engine roar. We're looking at 204 horsepower and a jaw-dropping 500 Nm of torque. And that's not just power, that's a get out of my way, I'm merging onto the Autobahn kind of power. It's smooth, too. Smooth? Oh yeah, way smoother than any joke I've ever told here on this channel. And it doesn't just stop there. The cast iron block paired with an aluminum head gives you strength where you need it and the ability to keep cool when things heat up. It's like having a heavyweight boxer who knows how to stay chill in the ring. The BMW M30 B35 engine, an absolute legend in the world of inline sixes. Picture this, an engine that's been around since 1968, powering BMWs like the E34 5 Series and still earning respect today. Why? Well, because this thing is tougher than a $2 steak and smoother than your granddad's favorite jazz record. The M30's magic lies in its simplicity and over-engineered toughness. With an iron block and a single overhead cam, BMW kept it straightforward, which is why it lasts. We're talking about an engine that can easily go over 500,000 kilometers with just basic maintenance. And it's not just me saying it. Wards called it one of the best engines of the 20th century. That's no small feat, folks. It's a testament to BMW's expertise in building something that's reliable, durable, and ready to keep rolling no matter what. Sure, it has its quirks, like the cooling system that needs some love and attention, especially if you're picking one up that hasn't been maintained well. The radiator, water pump, and coolant hoses, well, they may need replacing, but hey, that's just the price of admission for driving a piece of automotive history. And let's not forget the head gasket. Yeah, it can fail, particularly around cylinder 6, but remember that this is an engine that's been around for decades. A little upkeep can go a long way. What makes the M30 so great isn't just the power. 208 horsepower and 305 Nm of torque were impressive for its time, but the fact that it keeps delivering that power reliably year after year, I mean, this engine is the definition of bulletproof. The Mercedes OM606, an engine that's tougher than your grandma's cast iron skillet. Now, this one's not your typical American diesel beast like a Cummins or a Power Stroke, but it's got its own legendary rep. The OM606 is all about reliability, straight up bulletproof. It's an inline six, naturally aspirated for simplicity, with a cast iron block that's built to last. Plus, the mechanical fuel injection, well, it means fewer headaches compared to modern systems. Sure, it ain't the fastest on the block, but this engine is practically allergic to breakdowns. Let's see why folks call this the European 2JZ of diesel. And last, the Toyota 1JZ and 2JZ engines. If reliability had a poster child, these bad boys would be front and center. Now, sports car engines typically aren't synonymous with longevity, but these JZs, especially under the hood of the iconic MK4 Supra, flip that script. a cast iron block paired with an aluminum head, a combo that keeps these inline-six engines solid as a rock and light where it counts. And these engines weren't just built to last, they were built to be legendary. Take the 2JZ for instance. Tuners have squeezed out nearly 1,000 horsepower on stock internals, and it didn't even flinch. That's reliability on steroids, y'all. And if you leave them bone stock, a little regular maintenance is all it takes to get them to clock hundreds of thousands of miles. And don't forget the 1JZ, the smaller sibling. It's a 2.5-liter inline-six that's still a tank in its own right. Power output varies widely, from a modest 168 horsepower in the naturally aspirated versions to insane numbers when tuned. But whether you're cruising stock or pushing it to the edge, the JZ engine family is as bulletproof as they come. So which one of these engines have you experienced? Do you think that any others deserve a spot on this list?